In the dry hills of Endo, a remote Kenyan village surrounded by acacia trees and rust-colored earth, a man named Father Nyakundi arrived with a Bible in one hand and a promise on his lips. He wore a white robe and a wooden cross, barefoot as he preached under the scorching sun. To the broken, the poor, and the forgotten he offered what no one else had: hope. "The Lord has spoken to me directly," he declared, his voice echoing in the small church made of corrugated iron and mud. "He says we must cleanse ourselves of the flesh. The kingdom is near." To the faithful he was more than a priest, he was a prophet. He healed with prayers, knew intimate details about people's lives, and offered daily visions about heaven. His most loyal follower was a widow named Mama Wairamu, who donated her entire maize harvest to his ministry. Months passed. Nyakundi grew bolder. He called it the Covenant of Fire, a divine fast that would burn away the sins of the world. "No food, no water, no medicine," he preached. "We must present ourselves as living sacrifices. The flesh must die so the spirit may rise." At first it was 3 days, then 7, then 40. Children with hollow eyes sat quietly as their parents praised the priest. He claimed to see angels surrounding the church and said those who broke the fast would be left behind when the final trumpet sounded. When 2 teenagers collapsed, he said, their spirits were too weak. But the kingdom welcomed them. Local authorities received rumors, but when they arrived, followers sang songs of joy and claimed they were in perfect peace. They even thanked the priest for preparing their souls. Naomi, a young teacher who had once admired Nyakundi, began to question him. Her little brother Tito had joined the fast and stopped speaking. When Naomi tried to take him home, the priest accused her of being a daughter of Jezebel. Desperate, she went undercover. Pretending to be a new convert, she joined the fast and smuggled a small camera under her kitenge. What she found shocked her. At night, while the faithful lay weak and dying, Nyakundi feasted in secret. Roasted goat, rice, cold soda. He kept a satellite phone hidden in his chambers and received money from unknown sources abroad. Naomi escaped one night and fled to Nairobi, where she met with a journalist named Seth Muriathi. They aired the footage on a national exposé titled, "Fasting for Heaven, Dying on Earth." Outrage swept the country. Human rights groups descended on Endo. When police arrived, they found mass shallow graves and survivors in critical condition. Nyakundi tried to flee, but Mama Wairamu, having lost her grandson to the fast, stood in his way with a machete. He was arrested, trembling and tearless. In court he said, "I only obeyed the Lord's will." But the judge replied, "No, God asks for innocent lives to prove faith." He was sentenced to life in prison. Years later, Naomi returned to Endo. A new church had been built, not of mud and fear but of stone and truth. The altar bore no man's name, only the words, "Test all spirits." She lit a candle for Tito and sang a hymn of mourning, not for the God they followed, but for the shepherd who led them astray.